So, what is curriculum? A curriculum is, simply put, a plan. It's the who, the what, the when, the how, and the why of working with children in your classroom. So the who is most important, of course. It really is about the children and their teacher. So it's really important that you get an understanding of your who. That's where assessment comes in. We must pre-assess our children so that we'll understand who they are when we make a plan for them. And we must get ready to do ongoing assessments of our children as we go along. Now, we're not talking about assessments right now. We'll talk about that later. But what's most important in your making that plan for children is that it approaches all domains. All developmentally appropriate practice comes from developmentally appropriate assessment. So we're looking at the physical domain, the social emotional domain, the cognitive domain, and we're looking at language. So after we have the information on our children, then we're ready to create curriculum. Curriculum then starts with a curricular unit. It is fun and helpful for the early childhood practitioner to use a curriculum web. When we create a curriculum web, at the center of that web is the theme or the project on which we hope to focus. Then we create the tentacles. Tentacles meaning, what are the areas in your classroom that will change as a result of the curricular unit? In the early childhood classroom, when one walks into your classroom, they should see that there is a change in the curricular unit. There should be an understanding that the theme has changed. It should not look the same from month to month. More than 50% of early childhood curriculum is the environment. So when you change that unit, for instance, books should change. What are the books that change as a result of this unit? In your dramatic play area, is it now a post office because you're doing community? What is it? Is it now a grocery store? And what are the standards that will be linked to this curriculum web? So you see, it's really important that you think about the who as you create the web. And the web then becomes the what. Now, that curriculum web will cover the entire month. So there must be a plan for all 4 weeks of the month or more. From that web, you then extract your weekly lesson plan. Lesson plans should always have a scope and a sequence. What does that mean? It means, what's the scope? What's the broad depth of what it is you're looking at? What do you start with in it? And how does it continue? Sort of like a story throughout the week. How are the areas linked? Now, all areas don't necessarily have to link, but there should be some connection for children. But also, when you think about the what of it, you want to think about the standards that are connected. Yes, the standards. In New York, we have the Common Core standards. And there are actually standards that are linked to the foundational element of early childhood. So we want to look at those standards in particular, because every single curriculum should be based on the standards. So the curricular unit for your web should reflect standards for the month, and each lesson plan should select and utilize standards for that week. Standards are linked to your curricular goals and objectives. What do you aim that children will achieve as a result of participating in this curricular plan? And then we move on Because now we've created the lesson. Now we've arranged the classroom. Now we've made sure that the lesson is connected, deeply connected to the curricular unit and the standards. And now, as a result of that assessment, we want to make sure that we are including individualization and differentiation. What does that mean? Individualization means we're making a plan for specific children, while differentiation means that we're making a plan for each tier of knowledge in our classroom. In another video, I'll talk to you about individualization and differentiation. But in a nutshell, I've described for you curricular planning. Enjoy your planning time.